Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a video that I've been meaning to do for quite some time, but just never really found the time to do so. Hopefully you can hear me, and today in this video I'm going to be talking to you about nuts. No, I don't mean testicles, and I don't mean crazy people. I mean nuts, the edible food. Obviously it's edible food, well not inedible food, but you know what I mean. Now I'm going to be outlining the different kinds of nuts, or the different nuts basically, and telling you whether or not they are actually nuts. So we'll start with the easiest one, peanuts. Peanuts. The peanut or groundnut, Arachis hypogea, is a species in the legume or bean family. It's a bean, not a nut. Almonds. The almond is a species of tree native to the Middle East and South Asia. Almond is also the name of the edible and widely cultivated seed of this tree, also not a nut. Brazil nut. The Brazil nut is a South American tree in the family Lassifidaceae. And also the name of the tree is commercially harvested edible seed, also not a nut. Cashews. The cashew tree is a tropical evergreen that produces the cashew nut and the cashew apple. The cashew nut is actually a seed. Notice a theme here. Chestnuts. Roasting on an open fire. The chestnut group is a genus of 8 or 9 species of deciduous trees and shrubs in the beech family Fabaceae, native to temperate regions of the northern hemisphere. The name also refers to the edible nuts they produce. Chestnuts are actually nuts, believe it or not. Coconut. The term coconut can refer to the entire coconut palm, the seed, or the fruit, which botanically is a drupe, not a nut. Hazelnut. A hazelnut is a nut of the hazel tree, and is also known as a cobnut or filbert nut according to species. It is a seed. Macadamia. Macadamia is a genus of 4 species of trees indigenous to Australia and constituting part of the plant family Poaceae. The fruit is a very hard woody globose follicle with a pointed apex containing 1 or 2 seeds. Not nuts. Pecan. The pecan is a species of hickory. Like the fruit of all other members of the hickory genus, the pecan is not truly a nut, but is technically a drupe. Pistachio. The pistachio is a member of the cashew family. Like other cashews, this nut is actually a seed. Walnuts. A walnut is an edible seed of any tree of the genus Juglans, especially the Persian or English walnut. Acorns / oak nuts, depending on what you want to call them. The acorn or oak nut is the nut of the oaks, and their close relatives genera Quercus and Lithocarpus in the family Fabaceae. They're apparently nuts. Candlenut. Candlenut is a flowering tree in the spurge family, also known as a candleberry, Indian walnut, Kimiri, varnish tree, Nuez de la India, Bois Kvass, or kukui nut tree. Apparently candlenuts are actually nuts. Kola nut. The kola nut is a fruit of the kola tree, a genus of trees native to the tropical rainforests of Africa. Apparently that's a nut as well. Pili nut. Canarium ovatum, or the pili nut tree, is a species of tropical tree belonging to the genus Canarium. The pili fruit is a drupe, not a nut. Pine nut. Pine nuts are the edible seeds of pines. Quite simple. And last but not least, soy nuts. Soy nuts are made from soybeans soaked in water, drained, and then baked or roasted. Soy nuts are not nuts. The soy nuts are related to peanuts, I guess. And for those of you who don't know what a drupe is an indehiscent fruit in which an outer fleshy part surrounds a shell, like an apricot, cherry, damson, nectarine, peach, or plum. Yes, so I've been wanting to do this video about nuts for quite some time, and I collected together all the information about all the nuts that I know about, even though I had no idea what the fuck a pili nut was, or a soy nut for that matter. But yes, so quite a lot of those nuts that you go out and buy are not actually nuts. So the question is, if you've got a nut allergy, can you eat these nuts that aren't exactly nuts? Like if you've got a nut allergy, can you actually eat peanuts, because peanuts aren't nuts? Then again, what is a nut allergy? When most of the nuts aren't actually nuts, how can you have a nut allergy? Because only a couple of them nuts are actually nuts. So if you had a nut allergy, you'd only be allergic to one or two of those things. Yeah, bit weird. Hopefully someone can answer me the question, can you still eat peanuts and other non-nut nuts if you have a nut allergy? By that I mean, can you eat nuts that aren't nuts if you are allergic to nuts? Because if you're allergic to nuts, that might not mean you're allergic to nuts. Yeah. It's like fish. And we categorise this big whole group of underwater creatures as fish. You know, everything from herring and halibut and you know, bream, eels, you know, we call them all fish. Except squid and octopus, they're cephalopods. And sharks are still fish, but are known as sharks. Whales are mammals. Dolphins, I think, are mammals. Porpoises are related to dolphins. But fish, as a collective name, is technically wrong, because each species of fish has no relation at all to each other species of fish, unless it's two different species of the same fish, like black bream and silver bream, or whatever, you know, like red herring and regular herring, you know. I mean, believe it or not, perch and roach, even though they're practically the same, are not related at all. In fact, none of the fish have any characteristics. Well, they have lots of characteristics that are the same, but they don't have anything about them that makes them the same. Whereas you might have the same nose as your cousin or whatever, they don't. They're just all completely different fish. So to categorise them all as fish is a bit weird, really. And what I mean by that is people often go around saying, well, one fish is the same as another fish. No, it isn't. They look different, they swim different, they taste different. You cook them differently sometimes. This fish is completely different to that fish. A bream is not a haddock. A cod is not a halibut. That's why I'm doing this. Oh yeah, do you want to see something incredibly weird? You ready for this? You know this is my mobile phone, right? Well, that is one. Two phones are exactly the same. This one hasn't switched on. Bought it off eBay. I also bought this one off eBay, but yeah. You better watch it. Lights up. The light of watch. Yes, I have recorded the video at 6:35 AM. Or was it 6:35 PM? Yes, I am. This is a 24-hour watch. Yes. 6:35 AM and I'm recording a video about nuts. How weird is that? I must be nuts. But anyway, thank you for watching this video about nuts. And hopefully you won't get mixed up about what's a nut and what isn't in the future. And if you can think of any more nuts that I may have missed off my list of nuts or non-nuts, feel free to whack them in the comments with a description of what they actually are, whether they are in fact nuts or not. And if you wish to argue the toss with any of the ones I've previously mentioned, you can argue the toss with Wikipedia as well, because that's where I got all the information. Yeah. So, thank you for watching this video, and you'll see me again quite soon.